Hello and welcome, dear human family, to a new video update here on my channel. And thank you for tuning in. And today I want to reflect on a few things. There is a lot of things happening in the world right now. We have major demonstrations happening here in Europe. And as we know, the order of the day is everywhere COVID-19, COVID-19, and wearing masks and all this bullshit. What the fuck's going on? Is the question. But often we get very much distracted with the outside world, and we lose sight of our inside world. And today I want to use this opportunity to give you a little bit of a reflection of my life, because there are some important things that I need to reflect on, and I think a lot of human beings can have something from this. That's why this video series is called Heart and Honesty, and it's been a while since I've updated that. And today is one of the days where I want to do it, because I'm at an important point again in my life, and I wish to share that, and I wish to put it on video so you also have an insight into my own awakening or sovereignty process, my process of being a sovereign human being. And I think everyone can profit of that. And this is the motto that I go by every time. I said it in the beginning of the conference that I gave on Thursday in the introduction that I wrote, that I'm not an expert, I'm a human being. And the message that I have to give is each one teach one. We need to learn to communicate again with each other, instead of being trapped in our emotions and trapped in the emotional body and just chasing shadows and chasing our own shadow, basically, and outwardly projecting our own emotional issues that we have. And that's why my videos are dedicated to give an authentic experience and an authentic view of my things that I'm dealing with in my life, because maybe you're dealing with similar things in your life. Alright, so heading into the little presentation that I have set up, the first step of initiation is you have to be honest with yourself. And that's where most people fail, right at the get-go. Yes! You have to do the basics right. Okay? And when we do the basics right, it becomes a symphony. And things suddenly start to work. And things are not really working in my life right now, as I will be explaining. Therefore, you always have the reset button at your disposal. And that means going back to yourself, feeling into yourself, and be honest again with yourself. Instead of taking more steps forward and losing yourself in the process, anchor yourself in your being, contemplate and reflect. Sometimes it's better to do that than going further steps and being lost in the mind telling you you have to continuously push yourself. Well, that's where you lose your energy. So, honesty is incredibly important in the awakening process, in the process of becoming a sovereign being. Now, my dear and very, very, very dear friend Claire gave an excellent presentation on Thursday at the conference that I organized on Age of Truth TV, and you can check that out. It's called What on Earth is Going On, where she presented a hugely significant document that I highly recommend you take a look at. And I love my dear friend Claire. She's an amazing human being, an amazing individual, and I've been working with her now the last 2 years, and we've become deep friends, and I really admire her. And you know what? I have let her down. And I created that problem. And it is one of the symptoms of the challenge that I face right now. Because I really, really feel bad about this. And that's why I want to share this with you. I let down my dear friend Claire. We were scheduled to go to Scandinavia together on Sunday, 2 days ago, and me being in a confused state, I totally oversaw communicating to her that I wanted to leave on Monday, and some mind virus working through me couldn't communicate that to her early enough. So on Thursday, the Thursday before the Sunday where she left, she asked me if we're still going ahead with Scandinavia, and I say yes. Completely fooling myself. Totally ridiculous, because I already then had thought, oh, I want to go on Monday, whereas she wanted to go on Sunday. And what also happened was that after Thursday, I wasn't able to communicate with her anymore because I lost my mobile phone in her car. So after that, I wasn't able to communicate via the internet because early the next day we went to a lake. And also I had no phone with me and no phone number of her, so I could communicate to her that I'm not going with her on Sunday. So I let my dear friend down big time, and I feel sick about this. And I am the problem of this. It's not about being in a victim mode, but you have to own that situation. And what you have to, in my opinion, what I say is I have to be honest with myself that I caused the problem, no one else. So I've not gone with her into the direction of Scandinavia, and there's other factors that play into that also, which I don't want to go into any details of, but I caused that. It's my problem, and it just shows that I'm right now quite lost. And Claire was the reason why I got involved in the international appeal to stop 5G on Earth and in space. I translated this international scientist appeal into German, and that was one of the foundational things that I did in my 5G activism. And with that appeal, we have reached millions. And that's what my work has been dedicated to, shine light on the issue of 5G and the implementation of a digital 5G AI control grid, which is being rolled out whilst we're all distracted with the narrative of a deadly virus and wearing masks and all that bullshit. What it's really all about is the 5G issue, and that they want to digitize every single human being and suck the life force out of us. And that's where Claire put me into really focusing on the 5G issue. So I really thank her for that. And what we're really up against, and this is crystallized over the months, is this satanic death cult, a picture that I tend to use often. And it is real. And what I want to say here is that with the demonstrations happening in Europe right now, I want to tell people to not be discouraged if these protests are not as effective as they would want them to be. Because I want to say here that we are up against this, okay? And we do not decide when this is over. This is a long-term project. As I was part of the International Pure Stop 5G on Earth and in Space, I translated that 2 years ago, and I'm still working on the same issue 2 years ago. And I sometimes do, I sometimes sit down and I reflect on things and, take a drink like I have right now. This is a White Russian. That's what I'm enjoying right now. Cheers. And I could think, well, nothing's happening. Been working on this for 2 years and yeah, this and that happens, but really, the rollout is still happening. What the fuck? So then I put out the intention again, please, dear universal forces, let me solve this situation, because everyone wants solutions. Yes, exactly. So I'm always on the search for solutions. And I forget about myself in that process. I forget about myself in that process. It is a long-term project to deal with this satanic death cult. I'm one of the ones exposing it. The workings behind it. I'm not interested in giving you names and the details to the names of however these manipulators are called and the gophers. I just call them the satanic death cult, and I expose the mechanism of how they manipulate us. Because on a deeper level, this aspect of Satanism has nothing to do with an entity called Satan. Well, it does have to do with that. But much more important is the mechanism of Satanism, which is mind control. Focusing on what mind control is and how to break out of mind control. Because when you break out of mind control, you are awakening to deeper aspects of yourself, and that's where you get real power, when you are grounded in your being. And that's what I've lost over the last weeks. And this has culminated in a situation where I've let down my dear friend Claire by being a fucking moron, an idiot. I'm not being hard on myself now, but that's just what it is. I was an idiot, and I'm very sorry for that. I really hurt a friend there. I don't even know if she's going to, because she's strict with other people, and I don't even know if she's going to come back to me again. I've really cocked up, and I need to learn the lesson. I need to own this situation. So whilst it would seem on the outside that I'm exposing the satanic death cult and working towards the aim of awakening and freedom, again, I can only do that when I am really honest with myself. Because what we call Satan has much more to do with it the satanic aspect that is inside of you, not out there. Yes, we can observe things out there, but we can only solve them in here. This is a satanic system that we're facing. This is a system of slavery. And we've seen nothing yet where they want to take this. They will come for the children. They will come for anything. They are absolute psychopaths. The people that are running this matrix control system. But we can only defeat them inside of ourselves. We can only solve everything from inside ourselves. The archetype of Satan and the archetype of a so-called Jesus figure, for example, are inside of us. They are energies inside of us that we can activate and that can be activated. And another expression that I've heard for Satan and that I've been researching myself is what is called in Central America the Wetico virus, which is a mind virus, which is the constant chatter in our mind that keeps us stuck in our emotions, trapped as victims of our past traumatic experiences. And if we do not get past our own traumatic experiences, then forget about any awakening happening outside of you in the reality that you experience when you do not free yourself of the satanic mindset that is inside of you. And the definition of the system that we live in, this is an aspect that I study. This is the book of a law dictionary in Austria, is the system. It's inside of you. Do you want to meet the system outside of you and confront the system outside of you? Do you do that by meeting any one of these matrix control rulers or their minions, like, you know, the people? I'm not going to mention their names. No, the system in this definition is the order of a thought majority. It's inside of you. You are the system. I am the system. And that's why we have to be absolutely honest with ourselves in order to defeat it. To transcend the matrix from inside out. That's only how it works. So, I would suggest, don't be fooled by thinking there's this great awakening now happening through the demonstrations and protests that are happening in Europe. These are good signs. But, let me tell you, those people are not impressed. They are not impressed. We have to get to a real level of understanding the situation and really facing it on a profound level inside of us. The satanic mindset inside of us. Because otherwise we'll be led astray. For example, I myself am very highly critical toward the people, the sort of organization that has organized the demonstration in Berlin, because they want, do you know what they want? Do you know what their goal is? They want their democracy back. They want new votes. They don't want to go to the next level of evolution, they want to go backwards. That's sort of like religion, which comes from the word religare, which means to bind and to hold back. That's not how we solve the situation with these Satanists. No way! You'll be led astray when you don't understand that all of this has to do with natural law principles, with the law of freedom. That's what I'm interested in personally. And wherever I go and where I hold my speeches, I look at the information that is contained with natural law and according to natural law. And being honest with myself, right now, I'm not doing a good job. And therefore, only I can change it. I created the situation, so only I can change it. And I can change it by going through that and authentically expressing that toward you, and then changing my energies to be in a more harmonious state and in self-ownership. Because let me give you an example. Since yesterday, I have left the job center here in Austria because I'm not interested anymore. I told them I'm out of here by the 31st of August because I'm not lying to you. I don't want to do what you want me to do. I know there is a lot of teaching to be done here right now. And when I learn my lessons, then I will be taken care of through the causality that is enshrined in natural law principles. But I don't want to be a victim. Thing is, I had to tell you, because I'm going to be speaking at a conference in Denmark on Sunday, and I'm hugely honored to be going there. And the organizers were so friendly to even organize a flight there and back again for me, because I can't even afford a flight there. And I'm not earning any money with the work that I'm doing, and I often call this, in my victim state that I am sometimes, which I don't want to stay in, because what you deserve is what you get. The energy you put out is what you get back. In my victim state, I call this the shit work. This is the shit work, you know. I feel so ridiculously stupid oftentimes and question myself if I'm even doing the right thing, because I'm not earning any money through this. And it's been like that for months, and it drives you crazy after a time, because lovely people are assisting me, but it doesn't even cover my rent. And I deeply honor all people that have supported me through all of this. Deeply, deeply honor you. But I'm doing something wrong. I still need to grow, and it tells me there's more learning to be done. Because what you deserve is what you get. What you deserve is what you get. There are principles enshrined. This universe runs by principles. Everything else is knowledge that is deducted from principles. But principles come from the word princeps, meaning first and foremost, the most important. So the seeds that you sow is going to be the fruits that you reap. So in that sense, me having to suffer through existential fears, not being able to sustain my flat here, although I've managed up to this point. But now I'm telling creation I'm ready for the next stage. And by the way, on Thursday I had my conference and I did a good job in presenting my information. 2-hour presentation, I really liked it. Claire was amazing, so we did a good job there. And you know what? I had to pay to do that conference. We were in the minus. Cost me 40 euros to do my work. And that's where I then end up in this mind virus state again. I hate doing this shit work. But that's me in the victim state. That is me being in the Satan archetype. That is the force of entropy. When you feel sorry for yourself. You can feel sorry for yourself, sure. I do a lot of times. When I say I'm doing this shit work, which I'm tasked to do. And I need to own it. I need to become sovereign, which can be represented as the diametrically opposed energy of entropy, which is synergy, symbolized here by Jesus. So activate the sovereignty inside of you and take on life lessons as they come. And I have to face this lesson right now, because otherwise I can be quite a self-destructive person, and I can end up again in half a year of depression and not do anything and hate myself. Absolutely hate myself for never coming to anything and questioning everything. Why the fuck am I even here? What am I doing here, doing this shit work? But it's all here to teach me a lesson. You only solve the satanic mindset inside of yourself by transforming your mind. And you only transform your mind and you live the best life you can live by aligning with the natural law principles that are contained within the fabric of the universe. And more of that I'll be going into in the next videos. So stay tuned. Thank you for listening. I hope you had some insights here in this update, and I'm looking forward to continuing my work and actually put it to the next level. I've said it often before, and now I'm really pissed off that I've not done it up to now. Maybe now is the time. And then my shit work and the shit that comes with it actually turns into compost for seeds to grow. A hermetic principle goes that decay is the beginning of all life. We are birthing the new paradigm through the shit that we're seeing out there. Much love.